This is Plus 63 HP Reacts. We're a group of best friends, some handsome, some not. Take your pick. Watch and react to new trailers or some that we just haven't seen. We do this so that you guys can see what new content, whether movies, TV shows, music, games, coming in the future, and to discuss what tickles our fancy and what does not. We shall try to provide more info as well on when these new content will drop and where. Hello, I am Chubax, but you can call me Daddy. Daddy.
Chubax.
Next is a man from Brooklyn, my brother from another mother, the man who shares half my brain, amazingly talented Jong. Say hi.
I spent the entire New Year's Eve literally 16 hours in bed doing nothing. So if that's an indication of what's going to be happening in 2022, that means I will be winning 2022.
Hell yeah. And then last
I
and
think that was more of an invite.
Cry for help.
Hell, it's lonely. New Year's Eve, vacancy.
I would have loved to do that though. But last and definitely the most is my other brother, the one who carries the three of us in looks or just generally in life, Raymond.
Hello, guys. It's good to be here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year indeed. So housekeeping. We currently have 3 shows, all under one YouTube channel. Just search plus 63 HP and you shall find it. We're almost to our first goal, guys. 100 subscribers. I never thought we'd reach. I know it's small, but I never thought we'd hit it.
Small wins.
So for our shows, our first show is a plus 63 HP reviews. In this show, we go deep into a few titles, whether movies or TV shows, and we have a healthy discussion on what we liked about it and what we didn't like about it, and whether we think this title is something that will be worthwhile for you guys. Our second show is our very first D&D campaign. We always wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons, but we just didn't know how. Thanks to our DM Angelo, now we do. Or at least we're trying. And then our last show is this one, the Reacts, where we look at trailers and other content and we react to it. So our shows drop on usually Tuesday for the reviews, Wednesdays for D&D, and Thursdays for the Reacts. They all drop at Philippine time 12 noon. We are also on Instagram and Twitter with the same handle at plus 63 HP. So please feel free to hit us up. We always love any comment and we always reply. Now, if you're scared of my face or Jong's face and just want to listen to our voices, you can listen to our podcast. We are most popular podcast services around the world, especially Apple, Spotify, and Amazon. Now, for these trailers, we're going to react. We have a code. We say plus if we like or love it, and minus if we don't like it or we hate it. And then we will say how hyped we are by saying if it's day one, VOD, or when it's just free. Before that, we'll just start with some updates. And I will begin because I've been going crazy and I want to share
Ooh.
some of my
Go.
Heroin.
guilty
New
pleasures
addiction
this
of the
week.
week. Heroin.
So the thing that's been keeping me sane the past few days is expert reacts. I don't know if you've been that whole.
What?
Yeah, I just loving how some experts react to some stuff like this one where
Is it Vanity Fair?
any I don't care which
Oh,
one.
yeah, okay, okay.
I just look at one and this one. I just show you some short clips of what I love. This one is just cool because he's a sword expert and he's reacting to Star Wars. So, it's so fun.
I think probably a.
Can you hear the sound?
Yeah.
So he's talking about the Clone Wars animated show. So it's so cool. So here we go.
If you've seen the Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon Jinn, Darth Maul fight in the
And I didn't
prequel,
know this too. Look.
this is beautiful. You have Obi-Wan's signature move, and then you have this change into Qui-Gon. This is the key. This is something that sums up all martial arts for me, which is evolution, learning, studying your sources. learning everything that you've made mistakes by, allowing yourself to make mistakes. Everything in fencing where we are not dying is education.
Where we're
And this
not
is
dying.
perfect because you have Darth Maul doing the same thing that he's done in the prequels, and Obi-Wan expecting this same smash in the face rather than trying to parry, severs the blade with the simplest answer. It's a Gordian knot moment.
That was it. That was
When
their
you look at double-bladed
duel,
lightsabers, I don't want you to look for something which is going to be the same within sword.
It's so
Smash
cool because
in the
everybody
face.
was expecting like a long drawn out fight because this is where he kills Darth Maul finally, and it was just 3 moves.
Rather than trying to parry,
Because
severs the blade.
he knew he was going to do the
Fencing where we are
Qui-Gon
not dying is
hit in the face,
education. And this
and then
is
stab.
perfect because you have Darth Maul doing the same thing that he's done in the prequels, and Obi-Wan expecting this same smash in the face rather than trying to parry, severs the blade with the simplest answer. It's a Gordian knot moment.
But this
To
is, the next
Google
one is,
what a Gordian knot is.
but this one is my favorite because this one even Isabella and Lucas are laughing because it's just like the basic stuff that you wouldn't think of if you're watching the movie, but then it's like that is kind of obvious. So this guy's like
Ancient history at
expert
the
in
University of Oxford.
medieval.
I'm an expert in ancient warfare, and I'm here to talk to you today about pre-modern warfare in modern movies.
It starts with 300.
Not bad, not bad.
So this is the supposed Greek concept of thismos, which it literally means pushing. And about 100 years ago, a scholar in Oxford who clearly had rugby on his mind decided that this should be conceived as a literal mass shoving. We have no evidence of that. Nobody ever says that that's the case. But for some reason, this really caught on. And so for the last 100 years, it's been controversial. But generally speaking, I mean, people didn't want to fight like that. Spears are right in your face. So there's a lot of reasons to want to avoid this. It's called that. So this moment where they switch from fighting in formation to going after individuals who are still resisting, that seemed very realistic for most of these fights. Make sure you can kill as many of them as possible, because that's when they're vulnerable. That's when they're not fighting back. So that's when you can just sort of spear them in the back. And that's exactly what happens in this scene. It's only very much later in Spartan history where they say we don't chase the fleeing enemy, because if you chase the enemy, then you're caught out of formation, you become vulnerable. But at this time, in the time of the Persian Wars, the Spartans had no rules against this. And indeed, it's a true story. You can't really dispute that. But in sense of the tactics and the weapons, it feels like a fantasy movie. Maybe 3 or 4 out of 10.
It's so low.
That was low.
This one makes a lot of
If
sense.
the old man's in range, why isn't everybody shooting? They're making all these people on the walls hold their arrow for a really long time. And these are really heavy bows, so it's exhausting and pointless. Plate armor is intended to keep arrows out. Bows aren't guns. They are meant as suppressive weapon. You use it to keep their heads down. And so, of course, you would still use it even against people wearing plate armor, because even the feel of arrows sort of pinging off your armor or falling around you is going to make you much more cautious and hesitant.
Chubax, you're in plate armor,
Obviously,
right?
attacking walls with ladders is just a really, really risky proposition and usually doesn't work. If you believe they don't have either the courage or the strength to resist you, then you might try this. You just put a lot of ladders against the walls, swarm up, take the place. If you expect it to be defended, it puts you in such a position of vulnerability, approaching the walls one at a time, and it's just not going to go well. But obviously, it is a very common tactic. I mean, you can go to the British Museum right now and see depictions of people assaulting walls with ladders. Yeah, so I mean, the problem when you see
this is the main
siege
issue with
scenes in
movies.
is that they always seem to make it really easy for the attacker. If they want to go right up to the wall, they can just do that. If they want to bring siege engines, if they want to bring catapults or rams or towers up to the walls, they can just do that. It's like they're trying to make it possible for this place to fall. Whereas in reality, I mean, one of the most common forms of fortification is very simply, if you have the ground like this, you dig a ditch, and you pile up the sand behind it. Then you build your wall on top of that. And now what do you have? The enemy wants to approach
That's why you have
from the
moats.
front, they end up in the ditch. Suddenly the wall they're facing is much higher. If they want to bring siege towers or battering rams, they fall into the ditch. They would have to fill up the ditch first before they can get to you. All that time they're right under your walls. In movies, they never do this because that would slow things down. I want to keep the assault engaging. That's why a lot of the tactics that they show you are actually too simple and missing a lot of the things
true,
that actually be used.
Ito, tawa-tawa ako dito eh.
Well, firstly, that hill is much too steep, so everybody would die. But slide to their deaths, unfortunately. But if we take that out, I always thought it was validated by the fact that he uses the light of the sun to blind the orcs, which means they lower their pikes at the last moment. So the idea is that he creates those openings that the horses need to see in order to push their charge. So you see them sort of wavering and breaking just before the charge hits, which is exactly the point. Like, that makes it conceivable that this could have worked. I mean, it is still a fantasy and they're doing many things wrong. On the other hand, it certainly hits a number of points where you're like, well, this is realistic, using sort of layered of initiative in order to overcome the defenses. Yeah,
That's true. I mean, you have to
4 out of
make
10,
it fun.
5 out of 10.
This one. Braveheart. I loved Braveheart before, my God. I mean,
This
even
is
now.
It's a still good movie, but it's just like Mel Gibson.
I mean, what are they doing here? Like, this is, where are they getting the idea that the Scots in this period were wearing like leather and war paint? Like, these are just like ordinary medieval infantry. They would be wearing chainmail and helmets like this, you know. They just deliberately made them into savages. Why would you make them into savages?
That's
They're
true.
sophisticated people. They had disciplined pike formations. It's so bizarre. So fire arrows are not entirely unhistorical. They did exist, but usually you would use them during a siege assault, for instance. Like, you could use them to set things on fire, which is what they're for. So buildings and, you know, stocks and supplies, wood, and straw, thatch roofs, because it would create chaos and distractions. This idea of involving fire in battle scenes is just something that Hollywood loves. I mean, you just want to have fire because it's a nice spectacle.
Use a floor. In the ground.
Also, how would they have done this without the English noticing that there was a field of oil or something on the ground? Like, they wouldn't have like been like, oh, that's probably there for no reason. I'm just going to stand in front of it. They just do this. All these movies, they just sort of charge into each other like horseless lancers. They just sort of mash into each other, like no regard for anything. And then, like, when people ask me, like, so in a battle like this, like, how would you know which one is on which side? Like, how would you know who to stab, basically? Like, yeah, you wouldn't, obviously. If it went down like this, you would have no idea, which is why it didn't.
That's true.
As soon as your formation gets so messed up and so disorderly that the enemy are in your ranks, you know you've lost. Now, infantry would often charge into battle in the sense that it would run the last distance to meet the enemy, because everybody's afraid. Nobody wants to be there, really, because they know they're about to be in mortal danger. So you run and you scream to get yourself through that point and to psych yourself up and to know that there's a lot of you who are all in it together. But then you'd probably, by the best modern theories, you'd sort of slow down when you get to the enemy. And then you would start stabbing at each other in more or less even lines, because otherwise everything would you would just lose control. This is a joke. I mean, like, from the equipment to the tactics, like, none of this has any bearing on what actually happened, except that Willie Wallace was defeated. That's basically it. 2 out of 10 or 1 out of 10.
I'll skip this one then. Game of Thrones. Against the White Walkers.
Again, they should be digging ditches. Literally, all they do is just stand around carrying like spears from one point to another. You should be digging ditches, many ditches. Once your first ditch is ready, build another one. The female characters, other than the ones who've been trained to fight, are basically just sort of hiding in the dungeon and not doing anything. In actual sieges, especially when it was this desperate, I mean, they would just be expected to contribute. You know, women, children, old men, everybody does something. Because there's always
just like, might as well
fight. You know, go and carry arrows and stones up to the people on the walls. Go and put out fires. You know, help with water and food. Help with clothing and the wounded. There's no way you would just stick them away in a corner somewhere. These catapults are obviously in the wrong place. They should be on top of the wall. Like, why would you put them outside of the walls? They're going to be overrun. You can't move them out of the way quickly enough, so put them on top of the walls. That's where you put your artillery. So you can put your cavalry in front and it totally works if you don't expect your enemy to stand their ground. So putting your cavalry in front is a time-tested, very common strategy, totally works, unless you're fighting ice zombies who are not going to break and they're not scared of you. You're just wasting your cavalry. So
I like that
the
he put
right
that into
tactic for the wrong
consideration.
moment. There are probably several other battles in Game of Thrones where this could have worked really well. Should you find yourself fighting an army of ice zombies, so put your artillery on the wall, dig many ditches, lots and lots of ditches. You can put, of course, your infantry in front if you want to confront them there, because that means that you will have several stages to fall back on after that. You won't sort of blow everything all in one go. But put your cavalry away from the main line so that once the enemy is engaged, once your ice zombies are stuck against your line, you can then swoop in from the side where they're not expecting you and overrun them. I mean, it's not going to really necessarily win your fight against an army of ice zombies, but at least it means that you are fighting them in a way that they don't expect. At least you will have done something with your cavalry that made sense. But otherwise, I mean, obviously, it's all a bit silly. So, what should we say?
Then last one. May isa pa siya eh. Dito tawa ako sa Troy. Saka sa Lord of the Rings.
Your safe tactics are nonsense.
Ayan. Ang tanga nga naman pag inisip mo. Susunod.
Like, why would they try to get the cavalry to slide over the shield wall into their own formation? You want the cavalry to stop in front of you, because at the moment that cavalry stops,
What movie is that?
stuck in front of the
Hobbit.
wall, they lose
Yung
all their
last
advantage.
Hobbit.
They're not mobile anymore.
I have
They
not
don't
seen
that
The Hobbit.
momentum anymore.
You haven't seen it?
Elves clearly have a very
No.
effective spear wall. And
I didn't
then
like
they
the first one.
duck under it and let the cavalry slide over. What? I don't know what they were doing.
Ito, this is so stupid. Oh, so cool, di ba?
Both the elves and the dwarves in this one have this double layered shield wall. There are battle formations where you would do that, where you would try to stop cavalry by building these double layered shield walls. This is based on like a late Roman infantry formation where you put your infantry close together at the front in double shield wall or even triple shield wall. But in most battles, it's such a static formation, it removes all your opportunities to maneuver or to move. You wouldn't want to do that unless you were absolutely sure what the enemy was going to do was going to be running straight into you. If there was anything else they might do, you want to keep your flexibility by keeping your lines separated and just rely on a single wall of shields, because that will do most of the time. If you've got a static defense, you have your spear wall, the orcs are charging straight into it with no sense of self-preservation. That's exactly what you want them to do, right? You are safe behind your shield, and the orcs are going to impale themselves on your point.
That's why I never saw this movie.
All you want to have is for that to be exactly like that until the orcs stop coming. And then the elves just decide, no, instead we'll jump in front of that and put ourselves needlessly into danger so we can fight these orcs hand to hand. It makes no sense. It serves no purpose. Wedge formations are debated because, on the one hand, we have a lot of sources saying that wedge formations existed mainly for cavalry, but it's not entirely certain how that would even work, because most of what you're doing is just putting one guy at the front who's going to be exposed to everyone in the enemy line. So unless you've already made a hole, that wedge is not going to give you any advantage. It's just actually going to put you in a really dangerous position where you're feeding your men one at a time into the enemy.
Unless you had like
I
a
didn't think of that. Shields or something?
yeah, like a metal.
Formations,
Yeah,
but otherwise,
exactly.
4 out of 10.
At least
Did
you
he
got a
give
four.
anything? Did he give anything like a high one?
I think yung meron yung isa sa last one, Alexander.
Okay, so you've got a huge line at the back. Obviously not a perfect system, so he would just hope that
Every tao
everybody
dito
would
eh.
Palante.
have troops that are sort of battle.
Yeah, 1 out of 10 yung
Notice,
Witcher.
depending on where the threat was going to come from.
Viking.
And they would know that these works were going on.
Eh,
because they
inaano mo
didn't
yung
just
sa
show up on
Troy.
that battle in which the Republic of Novgorod
Yung Troy, tawang-tawa ako
like
eh.
it bounced over the one and landed on the other guy. Oh, I hope he got his paycheck. Killed by a flaming corn dog. Excellent.
Flaming corn.
Hollywood just likes fire. They just want to have fire in their battles. They want to throw big balls of fire, and they want to have rollers of fire.
No, but okay.
Balls of fire to disrupt formations.
But fire
It seems
causes
to work in
chaos.
theory because
It's
they
not
want
practical,
these
but it causes
orderly
chaos.
formations.
It
Depends
harms
on what-
both sides unless it's far away
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah. Flaming catapults, maybe.
I mean, this movie had an Oxford professor advising on the movie, you can see all the little details that
Yeah,
they
ito yung
got in
9 out
terms
of
of their
10.
dress, in terms of their tactics and maneuvers. Like all of this is
Ayan, sorry, ito
actual
yung
Roman
Troy.
tactics and equipment. So I guess 6 out of 10,
Gladiator.
but it's a mishmash.
So this one is so funny.
The whole point is just that they're just doing Saving Private Ryan. This is just made up because they wanted to have a scene like Saving Private Ryan. Resisted landings are not common in ancient warfare because they're kind of a modern warfare thing. Most of the time, they would just find a suitable beach somewhere a reasonable distance away from their target and land there, and then they would advance on their target. These are just stakes for show. Who are they going to stop? Like, they're not trying to land tanks here or anything. People can just walk through them. Like, if you want to fortify anything, in antiquity, in the Middle Ages, in the modern day, ditch and a palisade. It's that simple. It's easy. All you need is a bit of wood and some shovels. And they haven't done it. They just put some stakes up here and there for no reason. Just kind of sprinkle some stakes. This kind of shield formation is total rubbish. I mean, come on. There's nothing like that in Greek history. They're not going to be like this overlapping sort of turtle thing. In the period where this poem is set, there was no mounted cavalry. And even in later periods, you rarely have people actually fighting on horseback. It's hard to work out how to use cavalry tactically. It's difficult to use it if you don't have very many of them. And horses are just very precious. It costs an enormous amount of money to maintain a horse. So you don't want to waste your horse on something like this guy and his hammer.
This is my favorite part. Yeah.
Just charging altogether. They have no sense of order. And in fact, if you look closely in one of these scenes, just to the left of Paris, after the next shot of Paris running away, I think. The extra falls down on his face. I mean, I love that bit because it just shows exactly why you wouldn't want to be doing this, right? Because if everybody's running all together, you're just going to trip over yourself. Everybody's gets in each other's way. Like they're doing a beach landing, which is obviously inspired by an earlier movie. It has nothing to do with history, except that they have swords and arrows. Yeah, what do you want?
Yeah, that's what I've been watching. It's just funny.
I've been watching a lot of those too. There's like the safe cracker reacts or
Yeah.
something like that, you know.
So far, my favorite is that one and yung accent. Ang galing, I love the accent guy. He really teaches you a lot of stuff na you wouldn't think, na how different accents use different parts of the mouth,
Oh yeah.
the palate, or the... He has so many terms that are so cool. But yeah, that's what I've been watching.
So your next introduction for reacts will be in what? Russian, French.
I wish I could do it. But yeah, so continue updates, Jong.
Now, again, I've been using the holidays to reset. I've just been resting a lot, sleeping a lot because I haven't had a lot of rest in the past couple of months. So the body is actually catching up to me. I did have a date though. Speaking of accents, because that's something that we talked about. I went out with I don't typically go out with a lot of Asian women, but there's this like delightful Korean lady that I met a few months ago that we had dinner last Wednesday. And yeah, we're talking about how to pronounce certain things because I was telling her about you guys being addicted to K-pop, Korean novellas and stuff like that. And I have a lot of trouble. Yeah, have a lot of trouble pronouncing the names.
How did you meet this girl?
I met her at the show. She was a friend of one of the performers,
Okay.
and I bought a table. I bought a table around of drinks, and she said like, "Oh, I don't drink much. Can I order fries instead?" And that was like, "Girl, I'm gonna get your number. We're gonna hang out." And we finally did. And it was fun. But yeah, she was teaching me about like how to pronounce Korean names and Korean things. It's very difficult, and they don't have certain letters, and they don't roll their R's. So that's a good segue from the linguistic expert that you were mentioning. But apart from that, my main addiction is a show called Chicago Med. It is a very stupid medical drama on Netflix right now. It has 5 seasons. I'm on season 4 and I started Wednesday. for in the past 5 days, I've
Oh.
seen 4 seasons, 21 episodes per season.
Calling all single ladies out there who's
Yes.
interested in a young, talented, handsome individual.
Yeah, I live by
Um,
myself. I've got a car and a
he's
cat,
self-sustaining.
401k.
There you
I've
go.
got. But yeah, it's
Please take him away from his watching, his binge watching.
it's one of those you sit down and you open your eyes kind of thing. It's less
Mm.
dramatic than I like the medical stuff. Like I just like how the human body is essentially it's a machine. So you don't there's always a certain number of tests that you can run. You do antibiotics, you do blood thinners, blood clot. It's like it's very formulaic, but
Mhm.
it's less dramatic than uh Grey's Anatomy. There's not a lot of drama with the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not too technical like House. So it's nice middle ground. But again, it's super stupid. I highly suggest people not to watch it, but I'm watching it. And that's how I've been spending my last few days. It's gonna be a wild week once we all come back to work. It's always hard after a long break. So I'm preparing myself for that. How about you, Jay? What have you been up to?
Oh, well, the holidays has been quite busy. Um, I went to my mom's house and asked her to teach me how to cook. This dish that we normally have during the holidays. It's called patatas de la duquesa, or la duquesa for short, or
What's that?
the Duchess.
Oh,
It's think of lasagna, but no pasta. So instead of the pasta, lasagna pasta, in terms of layers, you're basically layering potatoes. So you have boiled
like a
potatoes, you slice
quiche.
them, remove the skin. You have potatoes, onions, bacon, and then some white sausages, or shubligs can also work, and then cheese, and then potatoes, onions, bacon, sausages, and cheese. And you do like 3 or 4 layers depending on how deep your dish is, and you bake it for about 20 25 minutes. The preparation part is tiring because it's a lot of ingredients, but I was happy I was able to make that, and I made that for my mom, myself, and my sisters who are here in the Philippines. Another thing that's kept me busy was preparing our little trinkets for our
I love it.
D&D sessions. So this is Casameros, my first attempt ever to paint. It's not done yet, but I'm also excited to start painting for Itsuki, so I can start sending this to
Ooh.
Jong. This is you, baby.
How much did you? How much was the paint?
I bought this 36, and this is Malak, by the way.
Set.
I bought a 36 set of acrylic paint. It was like, I guess, 1,600
When you
pesos.
have time, can you design Silvarin and Sildar, and then let's have it printed, and I'll paint it. I want to paint. I want to try my hand.
Yeah,
I suck at
sure,
it, so
sure.
that's why I'm gonna go for the NPCs, not
Sure,
the main
sure,
guys.
sure. Yeah, but I'm
So
super
cool.
excited.
It looks so good
Normally,
already.
this is like 1.5 inches tall, but I asked
Make it
Louis
big.
Fojas,
Yeah.
to make it bigger, to stretch it out. So he did a very good job. So shout out to Louis.
I
What's
know.
up?
Thanks, man. So thank you. These are amazing figures.
It looks so
and
cool.
He made it into almost 4 inches tall. So this would be such a good. These would be good pieces for our tabletop. Yeah,
They look great.
So
I'm excited.
that's what I've been busy over this holiday.
Yeah, when I have maybe more money in the future, maybe we can have him print more versions so that we each have a set of 3.
Yeah. I want
Yeah.
a set of ourselves. Yeah.
Oh, if you guys want, I do have the 3D design that is already current for the current ones that we have here.
Let's just do
So
it
I can just
the
have
same way you did it, so it's consistent. But
Yeah.
I'll cough up some money when I have.
Yeah,
Sure,
I'll
sure,
say. I
that's
mean,
why I'm so
it's
excited.
based in the States, so I can order my own too. So
Yeah, man. I'll send you guys the
And
code. I mean the
my mom's here in this month till Feb,
Oh, awesome.
till first week of Feb. So if you finish with Jong's, you can bring it to
We can have her. Oh yeah,
Vegas, and then she'll just ship it to New York.
absolutely, absolutely. Awesome, awesome. I would appreciate that. I'll also prepare like a small, a small box. Some stuff that Jong definitely missed from the Philippines, like
Yeah.
lady,
Lucky Me,
a lady,
Um,
a girlfriend,
a 5 foot rice cooker. I don't know.
5 foot girlfriend.
Trust condom.
I have plenty of those unused.
Filipino style.
I have
Filipino
a lot of
size.
unused. Extra large.
Small. Is that it? Are we done with the updates?
We're good.
That's it.
Okay, let's head over to our reactions. Not a lot. That's why I added my addiction, because we don't have a lot of trailers, surprisingly, for the first time in months. That it's kind of dry.
Well, I think we kind of finished the trailers in the past episodes.
we did
We
have
had like
a lot.
what, 15.
I know.
10.
So first off, we'll start with The Lost Daughter from Netflix. I only included this because I saw Olivia Colman and she's amazing.
Yeah, she's a Academy Award winning actress.
Yep.
She's the best.
Did she win Best Actress? I think she did, right?
Yeah.
Lately.
Yeah, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
So here we go.
You don't have kids?
Yes, I have 2 daughters.
Where are they?
That breath says it all.
You know that. I know.
Oh shit, it's gonna be stressful.
Oh shit.
Maggie Gyllenhaal
I'm an
directing.
unnatural
What?
mother.
A natural mother?
Is that Dakota Johnson?
Yeah. I kind of find her attractive in a weird way. Like
Yeah, she's
she's
and she changes looks a lot. It's kind of
You
like
do what you
surprising.
want.
She does actually.
I don't know what it's about.
I know it looks good, but the trailer is lacking. I didn't-
Sometimes, like, this is one of those, like, you're gonna watch it because you trust Olivia Colman is there, but I need a little bit more information.
I know. So next one is Feria.
You want to do the ratings first?
Oh yeah. Are we gonna watch that? We need more. I think I'm still a negative on that.
Well, it's
I-
out on Netflix now, so
Is it out?
I'll
already?
wait for some review. Yeah, I think it's out on Netflix. Right?
It is. It says New Year anyway, so it must be
well,
out.
I'll try to find a better trailer next week.
So I'm a neutral. Wait for reviews first. I need a synopsis, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
So do
I'm the
I.
same-
So
I'm the
I know
same.
when to watch it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's I guess that's a 0 plus negative.
Yes, yes.
Feria is a
Next
series.
one is
okay.
a series Netflix.
Esta mañana a las 6:25 recibimos un aviso de la Guardia Civil de Feria. Había visto algo en la vieja mina.
Ooh.
Vuestros padres
Cool.
podrían explicarnos qué pasó anoche en la mina. ¿Cuándo fue la última vez que les visteis?
Anoche, antes de que nos fuéramos a la fiesta de San Juan.
¿Formaban parte de algún tipo de organización?
La Guardia Civil trabaja en la línea de un suicidio
Mass
colectivo
suicide.
Oh,
instigado
shit.
por una secta
Oh, it's a
y
cult.
el culto de la luz.
Entonces,
Cult
¿qué era
of the
nuestro
Light.
padre? Una especie de iluminado.
¿Cuánto tiempo llevamos esperando este momento?
No me voy a ir de feria.
¿Cómo van a encajar los vecinos lo que ha pasado?
Pero que nosotros no sabemos nada.
Huh.
Gente del culto en el pueblo.
Elena está en el
Like their
reino.
mom.
¿Quieres ir a su lado?
Cool.
Mamá. Hay algo que no entendemos, Eva. No sé qué es, pero hay algo. Está convencida convencida de que la vida es una especie de sueño. ¿Y si la realidad que nos han contado es una mentira?
¿Tú también vas a matarte? ¿Eso es lo que quieres?
Oh.
Si no quieres que te haga daño.
One of them is falling for it.
Lo que le hicieron a Sofía
Whoa.
parte de un rito.
¿Pero cuánto tiempo lleva el culto de
Is it real? Is it not real? I like this story.
El reino vendrá. Nadie puede impedirlo ya.
I like it. I like the
It-
supernatural twist.
The darkest light. Well, but I like the feel that it's kind of like dark.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I
right?
like
It
that.
has that feeling.
They add the
So-
supernatural element.
You know what? I've been behind the Spanish series like Money Heist, so it's on
Mhm.
my list. I really want to watch it, but I'm not into a heist movie right now. But I'm into a little bit of a supernatural kind of thing, so I'm into this.
Plus, I'm a plus on this as well. I haven't watched
I have
Money
a
Heist.
plus
Also,
on it.
Jong, let's schedule that so when we're in the mood, let's do
Yeah.
react to that.
But again, but I like it because the series is done. This is the last season. So,
I know.
Yeah, so now it's time.
The next one,
Hype House.
it's another Netflix hype.
We
House.
have 10, 20-year-olds living in a $5 million house together, filming content all
Unsubscribe.
day. It just doesn't sound real. Hype House is like a social media collective that is also kind of like an incubator.
People thought the Hype House was just like white kids with money, when it wasn't that at all. It was just a bunch of kids with different stories.
When I was 17, I was homeless. Didn't take anything except for a computer and a camera.
In my journey as a trans woman, whenever I walk through that door in the Hype House, all of these people have accepted me for who I am.
Social media's been a roller coaster.
Are you in a relationship?
I've been on my single boy shit.
Vinny, you should take Miley Cyrus, the girl that DM'd you.
I never had a desire to be on social media. Vinny's a nerd trapped in a hot, sexy summer boy's body.
Why are you talking at me?
Do you think tonight's gonna be fun?
Knowing our friend group, there's gonna be some drama.
Trapped? Can you be trapped in a hot body?
Oh yeah, she can.
It
See it all the time.
Everyone thinks he's so perfect, and I'm like, he's just a f***ing liar.
I'm fully devoting myself to being a musician.
We have a business to run. Chase just wants to reap the benefits without doing anything to help us make any money.
The line between social media and a relationship definitely blurs. Not stepping over the line is very difficult to do.
Whenever my personal relationships becomes a problem with my business, that's when I do feel
The only guy I know is
angry.
Larry.
All I
'cause
want from
he
her
was
is
in
just to
the-
understand that
Mr.
she's
Beast
hurting
video.
others.
people literally get canceled over this stuff.
I just
Like, I don't even know how this is my life.
Imagine a fraternity filled with people that have millions of followers and
the
dollars
worst
and
things
like
ever.
a ring light.
like a
I
ring
want you
light.
guys to give it your all, because then you guys get to grow the next part of your career too. I just keep watching friends leave, and I ask myself, why am I doing this? I need to know if Chase is even gonna be a part of this anymore.
I don't really know where I stand right now.
I don't want something that I've worked really hard towards to fade away.
Amen, bitch.
See, the thing is, I have a very, very tricky relationship with, internet, social media algorithms. Because this is still like my dream. My dream is, what if we all live the house and all we had to do is make content? This is
Yes.
exactly it. But I hate this. I hate when you put millions of dollars in the hands of stupid kids. Smart, entrepreneurial, but I no.
Pass.
Unsubscribe.
I'm passing a minus.
I'm not gonna watch this. I find it annoying.
This one is
They're trying to justify the hype culture. Which,
Exactly.
yeah,
This one is
Ooh!
for Jong's Pizza Night. Singles
This
Inferno
is-
this
on
one, I
Netflix.
This is already
saw
out.
this.
This is out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
out. I saw a trailer of this in between my watching the episodes of Chicago Med. So I stopped watching it because I saw this listed. So let's go.
Because the two of us have seen some of the other Netflix ones, right?
Mhm.
Like stuff like this, but I haven't seen one that's pure Korean. So let's see.
Korean.
I love the circle. I love
I
Temptation
know.
Island.
I watched it with you. Temptation Island.
본연의 매력에만 집중하는 곳.
Oh, charms. Charms, so you're all fucking hot.
이곳은 지옥도입니다. 지옥도를 탈출하면 천국도가 있습니다. 최고의 환경에서 환상적인 데이트를 즐기며 서로의 직업과 나이도 공개할 수 있습니다. 지금 매력적인 싱글 남녀가 지옥도에 도착했습니다.
이거 이거 정글이야
Shit.
정글. 심장이 너무 떨려가지고.
와, 지옥도에서 그렇게 안 같은 시간이.
여기서 내가 사랑을 할 수 있어. 모르겠어. 걔에 대해 아무것도.
처음 여기서.
날 알아보고 싶은 거야? 아니면 동정인 거야? 뭐 측은지심인 거야? 좀 이기적인 거 같아.
여기 진짜 지옥 같다.
It's a little weird to see Asian because usually we're more conservative, right?
Yeah.
You don't see this.
Especially
much stuff.
Koreans.
Especially Koreans.
Especially
yeah.
Koreans.
So I'm excited. I mean, what, there's still no premise. Are they trying to find love? Are they trying to bone?
Think of
Oh,
stranded
only
on a
couples
deserted
can
island.
escape.
Only couples can escape.
So they have to couple up and leave. All right.
Maybe it's a
Yeah, but it's weird because for Koreans, okay, just a little bit about them. They respect familial ties. They respect relationships. They don't jump into one relationship after another. At least that's what the traditional culture is more like.
Yeah, that's why I mean, like same with Filipinos, but I
that's
think
why this
the same
interested
thing.
me.
I'm
Yeah.
interested only because like I want to see how far they go. Ah,
okay.
My favorite show ever.
I love this show.
I'm so
Season
excited.
6.
When? When?
Two-step dance instructor and her
I think it's out already.
What?
Is a honky tonk.
I am an older woman, but do I show cleavage? You bet.
Josh is charming and wonderful, but he doesn't shower half the time.
Are y'all serious?
Oh my god.
I've
Oh my-
always just
what
been
was
really,
that?
really insecure about my body. It took me 20 years to realize I needed to transition.
I want to nominate Navarro High School Prom Committee. We need help with prom. We have 1 week.
Are we gonna slay this prom so hard?
Yes.
Are we gonna look better than we've ever even thought about looking?
Yes.
I love him, Jonathan.
2020 was a hard year for all of us.
It's been a year of a pandemic, so much change.
However, it's a moment to really remind ourselves of what really matters to us, which is each other.
I don't want to be weird about it, but I'd like to give you hugs.
Ain't weird, brother. Ain't
If
weird.
this is out, I'm fucking watching this right after this call.
To a screeching halt. Say to yourself, my dreams don't hurt me. My dreams give me the best moments of my life.
If your life is like a tornado,
Everybody else is saying that they're proud of me, but my dad has just never said that.
all you need is a smoke and a
Shit,
rainbow.
I'm gonna cry.
We're just one bad
I'm already
away from
crying.
closing forever.
Let me give you a ride.
I love this
If you
show.
want true healing, you gotta own up to what you did and confront it.
What do you think Jodie would think about this?
She would want me to go on.
This is
Fuck, they have an old dude. I love old dudes.
we have ever done on Queer Eye.
I have never been this shocked in my life.
Maybe America is gonna be okay after all.
Oh my God.
Give me a date.
31.
Oh shit! All right, all right. Bye, guys. I'm watching. I love. Oh, what's this one? Ooh.
Another heaven. That's like.
Aquí en México todo se vale.
El ingenio culinario no para.
Dirían que estamos locos aquí en México por lo que comemos.
I love Netflix food shows because they overproduce it.
They do. They
¿Por qué
do.
no tomar las cosas que ya existen y mutarlas a algo más?
Así que preparen esas pancitas que esto se va a poner delicioso.
What the fuck? Let's fucking go! Oh, it's just Mexican street food?
Yep.
A 10 to 15. How the fuck do you eat that?
Slowly.
15 layered hot dog?
One bite at a
burger?
time.
Nuestro hot dog es de 50 centímetros.
Tacos dentro de una torta.
Lleva gomitas de todas
What?
con chamoy, Miguelito, tajín, la salsa de la casa.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Este negocio es un negocio familiar.
Mi mamá fue la creadora de la torta de chilaquil.
La daiva salsa. Es un secreto de estado, de familia y ahí se va a quedar.
A veces no vendíamos nada.
Como que se burlaban y yo simplemente agachaba la cabeza.
Soy una mujer trans, orgullosa de serlo. Las corchas arcoíris son una invitación a entender la diversidad que hay en este mundo.
¿Quién es el policía de lo raro para decir, ay, tú sí eres raro? Entonces, raro está bien.
Cuando se van a comer, la foto. Le mandaba fotos a mi mamá y decía, mira ahora lo que hice.
Ay, Josué, tú nada más perdiendo el tiempo.
Nos subieron a las redes sociales, hicieron que nos hiciéramos bien famosos.
I like that.
Yo creo que no estamos locos, no, más bien sabemos comer.
Aquí lo mínimo un barril de 4 litros.
Mientras más le des, más comes. No hay que hacerlo normal, hay que hacerlo gigante, hay que hacerlo diferente.
Si no experimentamos, no
Wow.
vas a saber a qué sabe.
Es como freestyle.
Just wow.
Aquí el reto es hacer de esto algo inolvidable.
Ooh. Oh, I miss fish balls. Man.
Algo
Fuck, I want some fish balls.
I mean, I'm sure some of those taste weird, but if I can find one or two that's amazing, it's worth it, right?
Yeah, definitely. And this is coming out soon too.
That's a plus for me
19th.
also. Plus for me, baby.
Plus.
Ooh, we
Oh,
got
yeah,
the
now we're going to the real
Batman,
shit. Okay, this is the new. I have not seen this.
I have not seen
This is the bat and the cat.
I think so.
Bruce Wayne,
Sorry.
I wouldn't be bothering you here, but your people keep telling me you're unavailable. You know, you really could be doing more for this city.
I love
There's
it.
a history of philanthropy, but as far as I can tell, you're not doing anything.
Really?
He's just killing people.
No, Batman doesn't kill.
The Riddler is asking for you.
The killer left this for the Batman. Why is he writing to you?
You came. I've been trying to reach you.
Riddler's latest. It's all about the Waynes. If we don't stand up, no one will.
You got a lot of cats.
I have a thing about strays. The bat and the cat. It's got a nice ring.
You a new friend of yours? I'm not so sure.
I'm just here to unmask the truth about this cesspool we call a city. You're part of this too.
Stay still!
How am I part of this? Oh, you're really not as smart as I thought you were. Bruce Wayne.
I love it.
All these years, you lied to me, Alfred. We all have our scars, Bruce.
You're still away.
He's involved in this. No, he's not involved.
How do you know? He's a vigilante.
Who are you under there? What are you hiding?
Selena, don't throw your life away.
Don't worry, honey. I got 9 of them.
It can be cruel, poetic, or blind. But when it's denied, it's through violence you may find justice. The answer's justice.
Oh,
Come on, vengeance.
God damn, it looks so
Get us in
good.
trouble.
See, I love that they're showing so much, but I still don't know what it's about.
That's a good thing.
Oh, showing a little bit more action. Okay, March 9th, March 4th. I'm watching it on IMAX, baby. March 4th.
I love that when he takes off the mask, you see the black part. Because in the other movies, they don't. Do
That could be our next Halloween costume. Just put the black marks around.
Oh, just on a side note, since me and the kids watched Batman 1989, and they were criticizing Zack Snyder for Batman killing a lot
Batman
of
killing.
people. 1989 Michael Keaton killed a lot of people. Really, I was surprised. I didn't notice that before. Like he went into that. He sent the Batmobile into the Axis chemicals, and
Mhm.
people were shooting at it, and then he blew it up with everybody in it. Like, damn.
Back then nobody died. If you're any movie in 1989 and under, you explode in your death. I love this show. It's out today, right?
Red. No.
Third.
S-
It's soon.
13th.
13th. Okay, fuck. I'm excited about this.
One episode a week.
With only my 2 fists. My Desert Eagle.
The Desert Eagle.
2 rocket launchers. Eat peace, motherfuckers.
Never not laugh at that shit.
She did spend an entire party IFing me from across the room.
Sick.
Dude, I said effing. Hey!
I effing me.
I was hesitant to bring you onto this team. But right now, the world needs a son of a bitch. And you're the only one I got.
You know, you don't have to call me Peacemaker. You can call me Chris.
Just because you're handsome doesn't mean you're not a piece of shit.
Think I'm handsome?
Oh my God.
Okay.
That's James Gunn's wife or girlfriend.
Yep, girlfriend.
You want to do this job? You can't balk ever.
Listen, I can help. I'm stellar with weapons in combat.
Shoot people after I already killed them.
Right.
Love it.
Aren't you guys being a little nonchalant about all this? Are you insinuating there is a wrong time and a right time to rock? Fuck yeah!
It kind of makes sense.
You don't understand what we're up against.
We need every hand on deck.
Is that an eagle?
It's eagle. That's not
Eagly.
My asshole!
Eagly.
What's wrong with your bird?
such a good, handsome boy.
We're saving the world. It's everything we've ever wanted.
Oh, shit.
Fuck, dude!
He stabbed his own buddy.
Fuck yeah! Tell me what you know. I'll tell you shit. How do you like that? I like it. I like it a lot. I don't give a fuck. What? Give it all you got. Hey, don't worry. I'm not giving this guy anything.
Maybe you could just a little.
I'm all in,
Take her order
bitch.
real quick.
Seriously, dude.
She had cherubic cheeks. It's a compliment. Sweet cheeks is your butt. No, it's not.
It is. It's like calling somebody, I don't know, sugar tits.
Totally inappropriate. Tits are way too big to be sugar tits. Sugar tits are like smaller, perkier tits, like yours. Technically, I think you may have sugar tits too, but somehow that also feels inappropriate.
See, I love this because it's contained. It's 6 episodes and it's funny. We need more funny.
I just
We
love
do.
John. I just love John Cena.
Hi, I'm Willem Dafoe,
Oh,
and this
shit.
is the timeline.
Hi,
Awesome.
Willem.
That's it.
That's it.
We're done.
We're done.
Queer Eye
Okay.
time.
Any last words, Raymond?
Well, I guess Jong's gonna jump into Queer Eye. I'm gonna look forward to Peacemaker, of course, Batman, and Feria. Surprisingly, these are definitely gonna be some things I'm gonna have to watch. How about you, Jong?
I'm very so usually I hate it when they give too much of a movie, but I'm happy with the amount of content that we have about the Batman movie, and I'm still like kind of semi in the dark. So everything that I'm seeing, I just like it's getting me even more hyped than I already am. Queer Eye again. The two things that I wish they would just make more often is Queer Eye and tidying up with Marie Kondo. I can never have enough of those shows. So I'm very excited about Queer Eye as well. And I will probably watch Hype House at some point. I will probably hate watch it. Like, it's like fuck you, kids. Fuck you, Netflix, for giving these a platform to like even blow up. But again, it's like I still do not understand how those things work and why and why kids are just the youth is based on the young. So I'm excited about that. But of course, Queer Eye first. Queer Eye. Chubax, what are you up? What are you up to next?
Uh, Definitely I'm gonna watch Queer Eye, but I'm gonna try Singles Inferno too. But my big surprise this week was Heavenly Bites.
Yeah.
That really surprised me because usually I'm with Gordon. Gordon Ramsay. It's stupid to do some crazy weird shit, but I mean, if one out of 10 works, it works. I mean, Batman.
It's a win already.
I
Yeah.
know. Batman, Peacemaker, I've been sold on those since they came out. So the Heavenly Bites was a big surprise, and Feria also.
Yeah, Feria. A couple of weeks. It'll be interesting. Like Spanish shows are really rocking it. So I'm hoping that that is one of those hits that we kind of discover early on, much like Dark.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the new series of the guy who made Dark. He's been showing
Europa, right?
No, he's making
Different?
something now. Yeah, I don't think he made Europa. It's just some of the guys, some of the actors in Dark were in there, but doesn't mean it was the same guy who made it. But so yeah, that's it for episode 11 of our reacts. Another fun, amazing episode. I hope you guys enjoyed with us. Don't forget to comment. We'll comment what you want us to check out. Hit like and subscribe. So close to our goal. Happy New Year from us. I think that's about it. We'll see
Happy
you
New
again.
Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye bye.